Hey everyone, just before I get started, right after I recorded this episode, I learned that Bobby Horn, better known as Mo, passed away. So our deepest condolences go out to his friends and fans and family. Thank you.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I am your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. I am on Cash App and Venmo at The Joey Harris. And, of course, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. Bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club Baristas, and so much more. Just $5 a month for hours of extra content. You can sign up also for free and get a lot of stuff that way, like my notes for the Cup of Joe on Patreon, the Mug Life monthly newsletter that I do, the Mug Life bonus episodes that I do, and so much more for free. But if you want everything, just $5 a month at patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. And folks, back again here, another week, a busy week for me. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I've had a cold that I've been fighting for about 6 days now, but that's all right. We will get it done. As today, we take a look at SummerSlam 1995 from the WWF. SummerSlam 1995 was shown on pay-per-view on August the 27th, 1995 from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There were 18,062 in attendance and the show did 205,000 buys. We start out with our intro. Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler welcome us to SummerSlam. Dean Douglas makes his debut critiquing the matches. We start out with the 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Hakushi. The bell rings and they circle each other. It takes a while to get started. They trade hammerlocks. Hakushi with an armbar. Kid comes back with a takedown. Hakushi with a side headlock. Back and forth. They lock up. Kid with a shoulder block. They both miss crescent kicks. Hakushi with a quick shot. Kid comes back but gets slammed down by Hakushi. Hakushi with a corner whip and a back elbow. Hakushi chokes Kid in the corner with his boot. The crowd boos Hakushi. He works on the Kid's legs with kicks. Hakushi with a splash for a 2 count. Kid comes back with elbows. Hakushi with a backdrop. Kid thrown outside and Hakushi with a backflip on the Kid. Back in. He gets a flying shoulder tackle for a 2 count. Hakushi misses a splash. Hakushi with an Irish whip. Kid comes back with a drop kick that knocks Hakushi out and then follows that up with a suicide dive. A leg drop gets a 2 count for the Kid. Kid with a splash for a 2 count. Hakushi with a one-hand slam to get the pin. Doc Hendricks talks to King Mabel. He tells Doc that he has a plan to be the new WWF champion. Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Bob Holly. Triple H has arrived in the WWF. Holly comes out to a great ovation. Helmsley takes a while to get his stuff off. They circle each other. Holly with a scoop slam. Helmsley comes back with a punch. Holly with a back elbow. Helmsley with a stun gun to Holly. Helmsley beats Holly in the corner. Helmsley with the corner whip. Helmsley with a backbreaker. He gets a 2 count. Helmsley with a suplex. He drops a knee for another 2 count. The British Bulldog is shown arriving at the arena. Holly reverses an abdominal stretch, but Helmsley hip tosses Holly out. Holly comes back with the DDT. He hits a drop kick and both men are down. Holly with an inverted atomic drop and a clothesline. Holly with a backdrop and another drop kick. Helmsley comes back with a pedigree for the pin. Todd Pettengill reviews what happened in the War on the Water tug of war between the WWF superstars and the Pittsburgh firefighters the previous day. Jacob and Eli Blue with Uncle Zeb versus the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart. Billy and Jacob start. Jacob with a back elbow to Billy. Eli tagged in. Billy comes back. Bart tagged in and hit a double axe handle. Blues double team Bart. Bart with a body slam to Jacob for a 2 count. Billy tagged in. Back and forth. The Blues double-teamed Billy for a 2 count. Billy in the Tree of Woe. Eli tagged in. Bart knocked off the apron. Jacob tagged in. He drops a knee for a 2 count. Billy comes back but gets slammed for a 2 count. Eli tagged in. Billy slams him down with a modified sling blade. Bart and Jacob tagged in. Bart cleans house. Billy hits the top rope leg drop to get the pin. They celebrate with the crowd. Flashback to what led to the next match. Barry Horowitz versus Skip with Sonny. Skip and Sonny out and put down Horowitz. He comes out and attacks Skip right away. Horowitz with a flurry of offense. Skip comes back and beats Horowitz down in the corner. Horowitz avoids Skip's offense and gets a 2 count. Horowitz suplexes Skip to the outside. Sonny throws the towel in and then gets in the ring and argues with referee Earl Hebner. Horowitz continues the assault. Sonny grabs Horowitz's leg. Skip attacks Horowitz. Skip with a suplex and a leg drop from the second rope. Skip with a snapmare. Skip beats Horowitz down. Skip hits a gut wrench suplex. Horowitz tries to get back to his feet. Skip slaps Horowitz around. Skip misses an elbow drop. Horowitz gets a series of 2 counts. Skip comes back with a 2 count. He stomps Horowitz as a Barry chant goes out. Horowitz comes back. Skip hits a series of leg drops. He gets a 2 count. Back and forth. Double drop kick attempt and both men down. Skip goes up top but gets caught. Skip gets Horowitz off with some back elbows. He splashes Horowitz but lifts him up before the 3 count. Horowitz backdrops out of a piledriver attempt. Horowitz with the drop kick. Horowitz goes up top, but Sonny shakes the ropes to knock Horowitz down. Skip hits a superplex. Hakushi comes to ringside. Skip had cost Hakushi a victory over Horowitz. Hakushi goes to springboard on Skip, who ducks, but Horowitz gets a roll-up to win. Dean Douglas then breaks down the last match. Todd Pettengill talks to Shawn Michaels about the rematch with Razor Ramon in another ladder match. He says he's going to keep his title by winning this match. WWF Women's Championship match. Alundra Blaze versus Bertha Faye with Harvey Whippleman. Blaze with an enziguri to start. She then sweeps the leg of Faye. Blaze with a flurry of offense. Faye comes back and steamrolls Blaze. She throws Blaze on the ground. She rakes Blaze's eyes. She misses a splash. Blaze with a roll-up for a 2 count. Back and forth. Blaze gets the cover, but Whippleman had distracted the referee. Blaze goes after Whippleman. Back in, Faye hits a splash. Blaze with a Hurricane Rana for a 2 count. Faye hits a powerbomb to get the pin and become the new women's champion. Jim Ross tries to interview Faye, but Whippleman cuts him off and says a deserving princess is the new champion. Flashback to what led to the next match. Coffin match. The Undertaker with Paul Bearer versus Kama with Ted DiBiase. Kama and DiBiase in the ring when they come out of the video package. Undertaker out to a massive ovation. Kama is ready for the Undertaker. Undertaker gets in and attacks Kama right away. He chokes Kama and slams him down. Kama attacks Undertaker from behind. He beats Undertaker down in the corner. They trade shots. Undertaker does old school. Undertaker throws Kama into the coffin, but Kama gets out immediately. Kama hits a flying clothesline. Back and forth. Undertaker goes for a corner splash, but gets caught and slammed by Kama. Kama throws Undertaker in the coffin. Undertaker head scissors Kama into the coffin and gets out. DiBiase gets on the apron. This allows Kama time to get out. Kama beats Undertaker down in the corner. Undertaker tries to get up, but Kama is relentless. A rest in peace chant goes out. Kama misses a corner splash, but clotheslines Undertaker onto the closed coffin lid. DiBiase comes over and kicks Undertaker. Bearer goes after DiBiase, but is restrained by the referees. It goes outside. Kama runs Undertaker into a ring post. Kama then runs Undertaker into a casket. Kama then goes to pile drive Undertaker on the coffin, but Undertaker backdrops Kama into the ring. Kama comes back with a power slam. Kama with a side headlock on Undertaker. He puts his feet on the ropes for leverage. Bearer knocks Kama's feet off. Kama goes back to the side headlock takeover. The crowd chants rest in peace again. Undertaker comes back. Undertaker with a side suplex to get out. Kama kicks Undertaker from behind. Back and forth. Undertaker with a flying clothesline. Undertaker with a clothesline over the top rope, and both men fall into the coffin and the lid closes. They scramble to get out. Kama tries to crawl out, but Undertaker pulls him back. Both men get out, and Kama with a swinging neck breaker. Undertaker comes back with a chokeslam and the tombstone. He puts Kama in the coffin and closes the lid to win. McMahon and Lawler talk about the next match. Then we get a feature on the Bret Hart and Isaac Yankem match. Todd Pettengill interviews Bret Hart. He says that Jerry Lawler is fuming that he lost. He says he's going to take care of Isaac Yankem. Hart gets an amazing ovation when he comes out. He does his sunglasses presentation. He gets a wrist lock on Yankem, who pushes Hart off. Yankem beats Hart down in the corner. They trade blows. Yankem chokes Hart on the top rope. Yankem with the corner whip and a back elbow. The first SummerSlam since 1990 that doesn't have an extended Hart family cameo. Yankum sent back outside, and Hart hits a suicide dive on Yankum. Hart throws Yankum back in. Hart hits a second rope clothesline. He hits a headbutt to the midsection. Hart with a roll-up for a 2 count. Hart with a backslide for a 2 count. Yankum dumps Hart on the top rope. Yankum with a corner whip, and Hart hits the post hard. Yankum chokes Hart. Yankum drops an elbow on Hart. Hart reverses a Yankum move into a roll-up for a 2 count. Yankum goes back to choking Hart on the ropes. Yankum clotheslines Hart to the outside. Yankum runs Hart into a ring post. He chokes Hart on the top rope again. He hits a top rope guillotine leg drop for a 2 count. Hart tries to avoid Yankum but gets hit with a clothesline from behind. Yankum goes outside and Hart dives onto him. He runs Yankum into the ring steps. Hart hits a bulldog and a side Russian leg sweep. Hart hits a backbreaker and a second rope elbow drop. Hart puts the sharpshooter on. Lawler gets up and pushes the rope closer so Yankum can grab it. Hart clotheslines Yankum outside. Yankum beats Hart down on the outside and then throws Hart back in the ring. Hart attacks Yankum. He hits corner-mounted punches. Hart ties Yankum up in the corner with some TV cables. Hart then stomps on Yankum. Hart goes after Lawler but gets hit by a double axe handle from Yankum. Back in, Hart hits a shoulder tackle. Yankum and Lawler tie Hart up in the ropes. The bell rings. Hart is tangled and caught in the ropes by his neck. Officials come out. They finally get Hart loose. Lawler and Yankum are sent to the back. Hart is down in the ring. He finally gets up to a great ovation. Doc Hendricks talks to Razor Ramon. Ramon says history has a way of repeating itself. Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. Ramon out first to a tremendous ovation. Michaels then out, and he also gets a tremendous ovation. McMahon goes ecstatic about Michaels. I would tell them to get a room, but I'm not going there. It takes a while to get started. The belt is presented and then raised high. Doc Hendricks joins commentary. Both men looking up at the belt as the bell rings. They shove each other. They each avoid moves. They lock up and drive to a corner. Michaels avoids the Razor's Edge. They trade wrist locks. Ramon with a corner whip, and Michaels flies up and over to the outside. Ramon goes for the ladder, but Michaels jumps on his back to stop him. They battle to the apron, and Ramon reverses a suplex attempt to suplex Michaels to the outside. His leg hits the barricade. He crawls away, and Ramon drops an elbow on Michaels. Michaels with an Irish whip. He drops his head early, and Ramon goes for the Razor's Edge. Michaels slips out, and a double clothesline has both men down. Ramon comes back with a pair of corner whips. Ramon hits a fallaway slam on Michaels. Ramon goes after the ladder. He brings it into the ring. Sid watches a monitor in the back as he will face the winner at a future Raw. Michaels and Ramon trade blows. Ramon starts to climb the ladder, but Michaels pushes it over. Michaels hits Ramon with the ladder. Ramon grabs Michaels. Michaels kicks Ramon away, so Ramon turns the ladder over. Michaels' leg is in the ladder, so Ramon stomps on it. Ramon attacks Michaels' leg with the ladder. He scoop slams Michaels on the ladder. Ramon sets the ladder in the corner across the ropes. Ramon continues to work on the bad leg. Michaels kicks Ramon into the ladder. Ramon slams Michaels into the setup ladder. Ramon drops down on the bad leg. They fight to the apron, and Ramon slams Michaels' leg down on it and then to the ring post. Michaels tries to get away from Ramon. Ramon with a drop toe hold. He continues to assault the leg. He hits Michaels with the ladder. Ramon sets the ladder up and starts to climb. Michaels goes up top and dives off onto Ramon to knock him off the ladder. Ramon starts to climb, but Michaels comes up and hits Ramon with a belly-to-back suplex off the ladder. Michaels puts the ladder in the corner and whips Ramon into it. He does it a second time. Michaels stomps Ramon. Michaels sets the ladder up and moonsaults onto Ramon. He goes back up, but misses a splash when Ramon moves. Ramon sets the ladder up. They start to climb the opposite sides of the ladder. They trade blows. Ramon headbutts Michaels, and they both fall over and out. Michaels goes to rush Ramon with the ladder, but Ramon ducks down and Michaels falls to the outside. Ramon gets under the ring and gets another ladder. Michaels sets the first ladder up. Ramon hits a Razor's Edge to Michaels by grabbing Michaels off the ladder. Ramon sets up the second ladder. Michaels reaches out to the first ladder. They each climb a ladder. Michaels kicks Ramon off the ladder, but falls as he goes for the belt himself. Michaels' back drops out of a Razor's Edge attempt. He reaches for the belt, but falls again. He climbs back up to grab the title and win the match. Ramon comes back in and grabs the title. Ramon hands Michaels the belt, and they embrace. Dean Douglas critiques the last match. He gets interrupted and attacked by Ramon. WWF World Championship match. Diesel versus King Mabel with Sir Mo. Todd Pettengill talks to Diesel. He says Big Daddy Cool is here and he is going to get medieval on Mabel. He gets a good reception when he comes out. The belt is presented and the bell rings. Diesel attacks Mabel. Mabel knocks Diesel down. He beats Diesel down in the corner. Diesel chokes Mabel. Diesel with a corner whip and a clothesline. Diesel with elbows to Mabel in the corner. Mabel comes back with forearms. Diesel with a shoulder block to knock Mabel out of the ring. Diesel jumps over the top rope to knock Mabel out. They fight outside the ring. Mabel goes to clothesline Diesel, but Diesel gets a boot up. Back in, Diesel attacks Mabel. Mabel slams Diesel down for a 2 count. Mabel sit down splashes on Diesel. A Diesel chant goes out. Mabel slams Diesel in the corner. He slams Diesel, but hits referee Earl Hebner to take him out. Back and forth. Mo and Mabel attack Diesel. Lex Luger comes down and gets in the ring. Diesel attacks him. Mabel clotheslines Diesel out. Mabel leg drops Diesel. Luger clotheslines Mo to take him out. Mabel hits a belly-to-belly suplex for a 2 count. Mabel misses a splash when Diesel moves. Diesel with a second rope clothesline to get the pin. That was a clunky match. This was Luger's last WWF appearance as he would show up on Nitro 8 days later. Diesel celebrates as they sign off from Pittsburgh. Final thoughts. A lackluster main event notable for being Luger's last major appearance for the WWF. The latter match is worth a view. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.